Hey guys, with me we have Harshal, who have almost 3 years of experience, and 3 years of experience, right? And
Yes.
right now he's working with mix of manual testing as well as automation. So this is actually we are going to have a discussion. This is not a proper interview and all. We are going to have a discussion like generally common question generally people ask, right? About related to career or anything that you can ask me, and we'll have a discussion on this. Okay. All right, just Harshal, just tell me about yourself, like how you are with 3 years experience, right? How was your experience and where you are working and what kind of projects that you are working right now?
So hi Pramod, thank you for doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2.5 years of experience
Okay,
or
2 years.
2.3 years of experience in MNC,
Okay,
and then I have worked on in a product-based company. I worked for
okay.
Sadhguru app for
Oh,
8 months and
mm-hmm.
as a volunteer, and now I'm working at a startup.
Mm-hmm.
It's a startup which has been acquired by Compass Group.
Okay,
So yeah, so I'm working on a product,
mm-hmm.
and so in my team there are like 10-15 people,
Okay,
and all of us are doing manual testing. But
mm-hmm.
there is one part in manual testing which everyone hates, which is doing the regression testing at the
Yeah,
end.
right,
So
right,
there is a
repetitive.
challenge which I'm facing right now, which
Mm-hmm.
is I want to automate the regression testing part,
Mm-hmm.
and I have a POC level experience on this, but I don't know how to scale it up.
Okay.
So I think uh, someone who is experienced as you can probably help me out with.
Okay. So, okay. So right now, so since you are doing the manual testing right now, right? What are the things which are you are doing repetitively? I mean, is it like test cases, bug reporting? I mean, these things you have to do eventually if you have manual testing that you have to do for a product, right? But to automation side of it, right? Generally, whenever we do automation, right? So automation, the first step of automation is what are the things that we can automate. First, we need to identify, right? And what are the things which will give us a return of investment, which is called as ROI. Make sense? Cool. So you don't have to automate everything. Trust me, you don't have to automate everything. Only you should have a regression, whatever the regression cases, right? Uh, Whatever that you generally are doing, there can be a multiple end-to-end scenarios where you are basically doing it manually, which are part of regression, right? So those things you have to take care. First of all, first you need to basically pay attention to what kind of tech stack you are comfortable. Are you comfortable in programming right now? Which programming language you are working on?
So I will be working on Python. Python
Python. Okay.
Selenium is
Python
something which
Selenium.
has been suggested by our
Okay.
CTO himself.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, and I'm also comfortable with Python as compared to Java. I
Okay.
will be more comfortable in Python.
Okay, so first you need to also take care. This thing is, suppose you have 2 3 people working with you, right? They are same as your tester, right? I'm right on this, right? Where these guys are comfortable also. So I'll tell you like couple of scenarios. So when I was in one of the company, right, at third or fourth year, 2 people were comfortable in Python, and the rest of them were comfortable in Java. So we had around 5 to 6 team member. So again, now you will see that out of 3 are comfortable in Java and they have no clue about Python, and 2 were like comfortable in Python. So that was a clash actually, right? This is called as knowledge, or you can say a technical gap also. So you need to take care of those things also. So ask within your team, and if everyone agrees that okay we should go with Python, then it's totally fine, right? So first step is basically figuring out which language we're gonna do these things, right? I think you already said you are doing POCs. That means most of the people are already agreeing that we will go with the Python, right? Right.
Yes.
So now second step will be basically figuring out, go step by step in this process. Okay, so step by step basically means take what I have done is personally take only 10 to 15 test cases which are end to end in nature. End to end basically means you are doing a login page, you're checking the dashboard, and you are doing the functionality, and that is like a one scenario kind of a thing, right? So figure out only 5 to 10 scenarios and try to automate them side by side and take baby steps actually. So what I have seen is people say, okay, we are doing automation, and sometimes they are paying 100% to the automation. So actually, what you are doing is where uh, you have something which is you have to do manual testing also, right? As well
Yes.
as the automation in the end, right? This is clear, right? So you generally have a very limited time. For sometimes, if you don't divide it properly, either you will be doing the manual testing around 70-80% and only 30% testing, or you are doing like majority of the test automation testing, or a little time for manual testing, right? So don't do that actually. How you can do is divide your time in a certain way where your manual testing is not impacted within the team. Okay, your manual testing is not impacted, because that will be your first number of priority to release that feature or something, right? Product. Second thing is, what should we automate? So those things you can figure out with the team, that okay, these 15 to 10 scenarios we are going to do that. And of course, now what you will need is you will need a framework, how we should go with the framework. There are plenty of framework in Selenium Python available on the GitHubs. You can check it out. I'll try to give you a couple of mine also, where I have figured it out. Again, nobody can give you a proper framework which is suitable for you. Trust me, this is very clear, Harshal. If I'll give you, okay, just do take this GitHub and start doing it. Actually, there can be a case which is this way. This is actually not suitable for you. Okay, so in frameworks, what they have is they have a just best practices, or you can say some of the folders already created for you, certain utils already created for you. Now, again, most of the people, almost all the people are following page object model. So there will be a pages folder, there will be a test folder, module folder, and utils folder, right? It's a common across all the frameworks, right? So those things you can just take out from more any if you basically go to the GitHub and try to download any Selenium form Python, right? You will figure it out that in 3 or 4 repo they have a similar kind of a folder structure as well as utils. So you can take that and start doing the automation in this. Again, first thing you will be how you will be approaching is you will be basically automating the 15-10 scenarios and converting them directly to the automation scripts, make, and running them through Jenkins or something through CI/CD. Okay, here you need to learn, or tell your team to learn also the Jenkins basics, so that you know how to create a basic job, right, and run it regularly. Then after that, you can keep on increasing your coverage. But again, what I have seen personally, a couple of people have done is either they are doing too automation, or either they are doing too manual, and they lose the momentum, or sometimes there is a slippage of bug due to this, because they are paying more attention to the manual sometimes, or they are paying very less to the automation or something. So balance, you have to maintain a proper balance on this, because you are doing both. There are teams where for example, I have worked on previous teams where either they are doing proper manual or automation. So most of the people are not. They are generally, I mean, almost maximum people that you see are on the same path that you already have. They have a manual things they are trying to automate. Cool. So I hope that will make sense, right? Yeah, makes sense. This is helpful.
Yeah, actually, we are not expecting anything fancy. Like sometimes people ask you to do automate everything. Like entire manual testing should be converted to automation, but that is not something even we are expecting. We are just expecting a few things, like sanity or maybe regression. We can just put it on. We can just turn it on, and once all that manual testing is done, then because our product doesn't allow us to like do automate everything, it won't. It because it is something which is getting built over time. So I can see that in the app there are some new buttons, new screens coming up, and all these things. So I don't think that will it will allow also.
What you need to do is you need to just basically do, first of all, target the high level test cases which are really important. So suppose if I will go with your way, right? I will automate logins related things, signups related things. These are mandatory because these are common across most of the things. Now I will figure out the functionality number one, functionality number two, three, four, five, and I'll just automate those things, and will give more focus to the manual part now afterwards, because again we have to maintain the balance, right? And initially you will have to give more time to your manual testing, because there can be a slippage of bugs, because initially automation will not give you ROI. This is true. Initially, whenever you are basically adding test cases, whenever you have a decent number of coverage, which will eventually come after some time, right? Then only automation will give you certain ROI. Okay, it will start catching bugs or issues and all. But initially, you will see automation is just running and it's not doing anything actually. But behind the scene, it's just making sure your regression works. That's it. Cool. I hope this is clear. And if you want to know about the framework and all, I'll try to help you offline, where we'll discuss about the GitHub repo. How you can do that. Cool. Yeah. Anything related to career or something that you would like to discuss? Okay. So what's your
Yes.
plan after this? You are trying to move to automation, is it?
Yes. So yeah, I'm planning to move to automation itself.
Okay.
And yeah, I want to be like the go-to guy.
Okay.
So suppose if I spend like I have 3.3 years of experience right now. So if I spend more like 2.5 years over here,
Okay.
then I should be the go-to guy. Like everything related to automation, anything and everything which anyone wants to automate, they should be like I should be able to answer their queries. So
Okay.
so how can I scale up? Like what else? What are the other efforts? So right now we are working on Python Selenium. What are your views on Python Playwright? Or what else? What are the new techs which are coming? Like which I should be focusing?
Okay. So again, to be honest, I'll give you a very brutal answer to this. There will be tools which are new and they will keep on coming. Before Cypress, there was Catalan Studio, right? Then again, there was a Cypress. There was a hype of Cypress. Again, now it's a Playwright, right? And next you will see some XYZ tool, right? So point here is, if I don't know how I will say this, but still almost 80-85%, 90% people are still focusing on the Selenium, right? Because that is scalable. That is from almost 9 to 5 years almost, right? I think 7-8 years like Selenium was done. I'm not sure about it, but people generally, whenever you can try out the new frameworks, and sometimes what will happen is, if you create or start using it, you will start facing the challenges. So you will be the first one who will be facing the challenges, right? So this is not working. I'm not able to handle the proper multi-threading in Playwright, right? These kind of issues. So actually those issues are already done by someone else in Selenium long back, right? And they have figured out the solution. So again, what I would suggest is, for anyone, first master Selenium, keep on doing it, learn about the new tools also, how they are working, do some POCs around it side by side. On weekends also you can do that. Automate some of the projects. Okay, so you have a list of dummy websites, right? Generally for testing and all. I have shared a couple of them. You can go through it and try to automate them on weekends, like Saturday today we have, right? And Sunday, right? You can do the POC. You should know how they work, right? But when you are 100% sure that we should include this or replace this with our existing ones, then you should proceed. And trust me, whenever we have tried new framework, we have tried, I'll tell you, like with my experience, we have tried with karate. There were lots of issues that we have faced initially, and we were like the first one who were facing that issues. Okay, for Cypress also, and we have tried Playwright. Now we are trying Playwright with Java, and trust me, there are issues related to multi-threading, how to run it properly, what are the things, it's not thread safe actually, and those things. So we are still exploring, I'm still learning, but again, you don't have to be the first one who's facing the issues. If you have to create that framework for a company or a people who are basically running a real product. I think it's good for a POC, so you should keep on doing it as a POC point of view. But when you are 100% sure, then you should move it. That's my personal point on this. Okay, and again, it's up to you how you want to do it. But again, pay attention to the Selenium. Keep on improving your Python knowledge. Start introducing the design patterns. Right, there are lots of design patterns available in Python. Right, so you can go try out. Right, again, go deeper with the Selenium architecture also, how behind the scenes Selenium is working, right? And do more projects, and always push your projects, whatever that you have done, to your GitHub profile. That's what I have think people are not doing it. So I would suggest you, so keep improving your profile on GitHub by adding the projects that you are, or the POC that you are doing. So at least whoever is basically taking your interview, or whenever he will see this GitHub profile of yours, right, he will know, okay, so Harshal has done some Selenium work, he has worked on page object pattern, he has done a couple of POCs in Playwright with Python, right, and he's doing some of the Python programming questions are also, right. So you can improve your Python programming also side by side, those things also. Now next thing, with 3 years experience, what I am expecting is you should now start learning the CI/CD part and scalability and reliability part, which will help you to I don't know how I should say it, but it will definitely will help you to increase your salary as well as your credibility among the market also, where you will be you basically, what value you will be providing after 3 to 5 years is, you can create the automation framework from scratch. You can run that framework into Jenkins with the AWS machines. AWS slaves or something like this. Windows slaves, Ubuntu slaves, I don't know how you're going to use it, or probably with the Docker, right? So, or if you're using a cloud services, cloud grids like BrowserStack or Source Labs. So now it's time to start exploring those things also. Make sense? Those things. Scalability and reliability and maintenance, basically 3 things. Remember these 3 things. Now you have a decent experience in Selenium. You know how page object pattern works. You have written a couple of test cases, right? 3 to 5 years, generally these are my expectations. You know how to write test cases. You know how to create a simple Jenkins jobs, and you're running your framework. But what about, I want to run these, suppose 5,000 test cases on a AWS machine, or a probably with load balancers, right? Or probably on Kubernetes or Docker and all. Now you have to take care of those parts. You should know how things are works, how things they are handling all these things, right? So not every company generally have DevOps or a Ops manager. So you, as a QA, we will be doing the same thing in the future. And those things, if you know, it's a plus point. It's a very good plus point. So that's what I believe. Okay. So I think you are clear with this, what you need to do after 3 to 5 years, right? Take courses. Again, take courses. You can take courses from Udemy, take courses from anywhere. Invest in yourself. This is really important. I'll give you one advice. It's up to you. Generally, what I do is, suppose I'm earning 100 rupees, right? Suppose out of 100, I'll keep my 5 to 10 rupees where I will be buying some of the Udemy courses, or probably some other courses where I think these things can be implemented in my future projects. Okay, so it can be related to Docker, it can be related to Kubernetes, it can be related to, so what I am saying, for you it will be a different, it can be related to a Jenkins Advanced, right? Cool things. Cool. Make sense?
So you are suggesting me to focus on maintenance, reliability, and scalability.
This will be your future. Not right now. Not right now. You will. This is just a future.
Okay.
Also, but right now, 3 to 5 years, you have to basically become a good at design pattern, maintaining your test cases, and taking care of your automation framework from scratch to almost 2,000, 3,000 test cases. Your framework should be great, or should be maintainable. There's no flaky test, how to handle flaky test and all things, right? Keep on learning those things. Don't stop your learning, actually. My point is. Cool. People
Okay.
actually, what I have seen is, to be honest, Harshal, after 3 years, right, they basically think, okay, I know how Selenium works. I have written a couple of scripts, and that's it. Till fifth year or sixth year, they are at the same level where people at the 3 years, they are same level. I mean, their graph, if you see, learning point here, but don't do that. 3 years, Selenium and all. Now you start learning about how to maintain those scripts, flaky test, automation coverage, and all. After that, scalability, reliability, and those things. Take care of it. And again, after that, 5 to 7 or 7 to 2 years, you will be mostly into lead, where you will be helping other team members, right? And after that, you will be at a manager level where you will be helping almost 20-25 people, right? So those things you have to take care in mind. Think about in a way. Cool. So I have given you a proper path how it will be done. Cool. And of course, if you have knowledge of extra things side by side, it will directly impact your salary package. This is true, right? The more number of concepts you know, the more you are comfortable with these things, ops things and extra thing or the advanced thing that you are doing. It will impact your salary packages also. Okay, because you can go to a proper startup where there's no team. They can definitely give you a high package if you help them to start the automation from scratch. Make sense? And you can create your own team because you know how to basically make a framework and all things, right? You can create your own team, help them grow and those things, so you can get higher packages also. Cool. So that's my point on this. Anything else that you would like to discuss related to your career related or anything else?
Yeah, I want to add on to. I have one small question on this.
Okay.
So right now I'm focusing on Python, Selenium, but I see that the Cypress, Playwright, all these tools are being built on JavaScript.
Right.
So would you recommend me learning JavaScript? Because as you know, Web 3.0 is also getting built on JavaScript. So there is a higher probability that we might be switching to JavaScript.
Right.
In terms of
Makes sense.
building.
Makes sense. I got your point. To be honest, I'll tell you this thing. So 10 years of experience, almost 10 years of experience, so initially I did Java, like 2 years, Java with Selenium, almost 4 years, Java with Selenium with JavaScript. I was working with Protector, Mocha, Jasmine, the test frameworks. After that, I moved to 2 years of mobile testing with Python, and then again back to Java, rest assured and everything. So up to you. It's again, if I say to you, or if I basically tell to you that okay, focus only on Python, no, because probably in next company, whatever we are switching, right, their test, their framework is in Java, or probably it's in JavaScript, right? So you should be able to modify. That's what I think. So have one language where you are comfortable, but again, every programming language has a core concepts. Similar if loops are there, similar flows are there, similar exceptions are there. Oops is across most of the programming languages are there. Couple of them follows and couple of them don't follow a couple of oops rule, but you get the point, right? So I would encourage, yes, start learn. I mean, you can definitely learn side by side your to the Java, as pay attention to your Java and JavaScript also, because probably in next project that you are getting, right, it can be in Java or a JavaScript, right? So give some of the time. I mean, how I will do is, if I'm interested to learn, suppose Cypress and all, I'll do some POCs on Saturday, Sunday. I'll try out. First, I will learn a basics of JavaScript. Then I will try to do the projects side by side. So that's how I'll do it. And I can show that directly that, okay, I have worked on it. If I will get the opportunity, I will grasp that, and I will probably able to deliver, because I have done it in the past on my weekends as a project. Good. Clear?
All right. Yeah.
So of course, give more. This is your time of learning. So pay more attention to your learning. Add more time to your learning. Okay. Try out a number of things. You don't know where you will be after 2 years or 3 years. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. So thanks a lot for joining, Arshad. And if you have anything else, thanks a lot for this questions and answer. I'm really glad that you are able to discuss with me. I hope this was helpful
Yeah,
to you.
yeah, it's kind of a big deal for me to get connected like this, and yeah, on a short notice and everything. Yeah.
No,
Thank you
it's
so much,
fine.
man.
Definitely, we'll catch up with you again. Okay, whenever we have a time,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
we'll do a couple of more things related to your interviews that you said. Okay, do a mock interview. Probably we'll do it in future also. Okay.
yeah.
All right. All right. Thanks a lot for joining. Bye. Let me know
Bye.
if you have any doubt. You can email me or you can ask on the channel also. Okay. Thanks a lot, Harshal, for joining. Bye.
Bye.